Hello everyone, this is Harrison again to tell you about Spike's Cafe. Spike's Cafe is the place you want to take your family for breakfast or lunch. Trust me, they even cater. So if you have a party, they will bring the food to you or their food truck to your event. Spike's Cafe is the best. My dad takes me a lot of places to eat, so I know what I'm talking about. Spike's Cafe is open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on some Fridays they stay open until 8. So check out their Facebook page for specials or today's hours. Spike's Cafe, only in Ingalls, Kansas.
Shopping local is one of the most important aspects of small town living. If you don't support local businesses, they simply can't survive. Cimarron Foods invites you to shop local the next time you need to get groceries. Or if you're thinking about a quicker meal that you don't have to cook yourself, they have the Substation, Hunt Brothers Pizza, and Chester's Chicken all inside their doors. So when you see the pantries a little bare, or your stomach is grumbling for something right away, visit Cimarron Foods on Highway 400 in Cimarron, Kansas. Find them on Facebook by searching for Cimarron Foods. Cimarron Foods thanks you for shopping local. Serving Southwest Kansas and the Panhandle since 1978, General Pest Control has had you covered when it comes to getting rid of bugs. Indoor, outdoor, rodents, termites, bed bugs, they truly take care of what bugs you. Schedule a free quote today on their website, gpcpest.com. Don't live with unwanted house guests any longer. Get General Pest Control to take care of you. General Pest Control is a proud supporter of area high school athletes. General Pest Control, we take care of what bugs you. First National Bank in Cimarron is more than just ATMs and checking accounts. First National Bank also offers online banking with bill pay, savings accounts, IRAs, CDs, safe deposit boxes, debit cards, and an experienced loan department, specializing in agriculture, commercial, personal, home mortgages, and refinancing loans. See them in Cimarron and Eagles, or visit them at www.fnbcimarron.com. First National Bank in Cimarron and Ingalls, serving our community since 1929. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sometimes there is no need to make a trip to the big city. After all, it is always better to shop local. There's no better place to do that than shopping at Bison Mercantile in Ashland. Bison Merc not only carries furniture and appliances, but also hunting and fishing supplies, other sporting goods, electronics, and more. So whether you're looking for a new bed or a new fishing pole, Bison Mercantile has what you need. So stop and see them at their location in Ashland. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 6 and Saturday 9 to 3. See them online at bisonmerc.com.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
That's right, bench warmers, it is that time of the week. It is Right in the Pine right here on Dry River Radio. I'm your host, Joey Dean. It's brought to you by AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. Glad to be with you on this snowy Friday. Do want to pass along that we have a winter weather advisory and a winter storm warning, both in effect until this evening, 7 o'clock this evening for the advisory. I don't remember what the winter storm warning was, but it's later as well, as snow already falling here in the studio in Ingalls. Got a nice little ground cover of snow. I'm going to expect some more snow to come into the area as well. That means tonight's game, Spike's Cafe, high school basketball presented by Spike's Cafe. It was supposed to be Stanton County at South Gray. Stanton County canceled school this morning. First they had a 2-hour delay, then they went ahead and canceled school. So that nixed the games for tonight. Those games are rescheduled, though, for tomorrow. Unfortunately, for those that want to listen to those games, we will not be able to cover those games because I will be in Hayes playing a show in Hayes tomorrow night. So Unfortunately, I can't do the rescheduled games, so we're gonna have to pick back up on Tuesday with our high school basketball. But in the meantime, I guess the good thing is that everybody's gonna be safe. Nobody's gonna be traveling around trying to get here, there, and everywhere. When they should probably be staying at home. The road's already starting to get a little rough in southwest Kansas, and it's just going to get worse, to be honest with you. Coming up on Tuesday, we have Hodgman County at Mineola. Those games will be coming your way on Tuesday from Mineola High School. So looking forward to doing that. Next week, got Clark County. We're visiting Hodgman County at Mineola, then Cimarron at Ashland for next week. So yeah, I'm okay with all this. This is gonna work out, I think, in everybody's favor, and everybody's just gonna be safe today. A lot of other games are gonna be canceled. A lot of schools letting out early. I know Southwestern Heights let out at noon. So still expecting a phone call. I figure it'll probably happen while I'm doing this show. I'll get a text from the school saying H is going to get left out early. I just kind of have that feeling. Timing-wise, that's how that works every time. But I don't know. It's not really that bad. The roads were still warm enough that it's melted off pretty quickly here in Ingalls. So they're not bad yet. They will get that way, especially as we get into nightfall. But yeah, as of the moment, it's not absolutely terrible. Welcome all of you watching on Facebook Live, as well as watching the replay on our website, driverservices.com, or I guess you're listening to the replay. You have to watch the replay on Facebook Live. We don't have it set up through YouTube like we do everything else, which is fine. I'm cool with this just being a podcast for now. But yeah, if you're watching on Facebook Live, you'll notice that it's black and white video right now. That's because I couldn't find my normal camera, which I use for high school games. I got to invest in some stuff, but I couldn't find my normal camera. And so I had to bust out a camera that I used at the Coastal Classic in Houston this last weekend, which is the reason why we didn't have a show last week, because I had games in Houston on Friday. But that camera has night vision, and it's dark enough in the corner that my computer and everything's in. I mounted it behind the computer, set it up on a speaker, and it's dark enough back there that it's activated the night vision, so it's black and white right now, which is fine. I don't need to be in full color. Black and white's just fine. But those of you watching, it does have a wider view, so you can see some of the cables and stuff on the floor in the background of the studio here, as my fireplace and all of that as well. I got things kind of scattered as I began prepping to pack for tomorrow's show, and everything that goes into that. I went from doing the Coastal Classic in Houston, and then I need different equipment to play a show tomorrow, but some of the same equipment, so I have to redistribute everything, reorganize it, and then repack to prepare. A lot goes into what I do, going on the road, playing music and covering games and all of that, but glad to do it. It's a lot of fun. That is for sure. Big thank you to all of our sponsors of high school basketball this year, by the way, and some of the newcomers that we have, including Cimarron Foods and Advanced Power Distributors, First National Bank in Cimarron and Ingalls. Big thank you to all of them, as well as our normal sponsors that have been here since the beginning of time, it seems. Graph Inc. Talked to Drew Peterson at Graph Inc. today. It was great to talk to him, as things are going good for Graph Inc. It sounds like they could still use your business, though. For all your printing needs, visit Graph Inc. I don't know what that was about, but I hope that was... Oh, no, I went down for some reason here. At least on part of it I did. I'm not sure what happened. Let me see if I can fix it, though. There we go. Now I got that coming back, but it's not picking up anything over on the other stream. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but either way, yeah, it's working on the Facebook, but it's not working on over the air right now, so I'm trying to figure out why that's the case. Um, see if maybe I can pick it up that way, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but now I'm going to pick up an echo of myself, which is fine. I don't really care that much about an echo on myself. Hopefully, it's not echoing so much over the air, but yeah, I'm not sure why that decided to all of a sudden just quit on the radio stream, but I apologize. That was unexpected. That was definitely unexpected. Something shorted out over here, I think, and just decided that it's just not gonna do it today. So I don't know what that's all about, but either way, yeah. So what was I saying? I don't know what I was talking about. Let's be honest. I don't ever know what I'm talking about, but that gives me the opportunity to move on. Lots of news regarding the Royals over the last few days, including yesterday. The Royals opted out of their TV contract with Main Street Sports and FanDuel Sports in Kansas City. So, yeah, you know what? That's okay because I was not a fan of FanDuel anyway. And then all of a sudden, now they're getting out of it. I'm hoping, I've been saying this for a while, as Drew tells me there's no echo on the Facebook. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I've been saying this for a year at least, that Major League Baseball needs to take over these contracts for these teams because they've already got the platform to do it. MLB.tv is probably the best streaming platform of all the major sports, and it has been for quite a while. They've figured it out, and they've cornered the market. And as far as out-of-market games, there's no better place to watch all the teams in Major League Baseball. The problem is in-market games. Like being a Royals fan in Southwest Kansas, you can't watch the Royals games on MLB.tv because of their contracts with places like FanDuel Sports or Fox Sports Net is what it was before, and those places, Bally Sports. Because of those contracts, you can't watch in the Kansas City footprint, the Kansas City territory, the Royals territory. You can't watch those games without going to, like the FanDuel app, which was a pain in the rear to be able to utilize. So using that app plus the MLB TV, it just gets super expensive. And so Major League Baseball could consolidate all this, get rid of some of these local sports networks. They're called RSNs, regional sports networks. They could definitely get rid of those and then take things over for themselves, and that would be ideal for fans across the nation because then you have one spot that you would go to for Major League Baseball. I'm not saying take away, Thursday Night Baseball or Sunday Night Baseball or whatever. Still do those on the networks. Still have your playoffs on the networks, but simulcast the playoffs on MLB.tv. If I'm paying for a season of baseball, I would like to, one, not have blackouts. If I'm having to pay for a product, I don't want to be blacked out of it. And then two, on top of that, I would like to have the playoffs. And if I have to pay a little bit more for these luxuries, that's fine. I think it's $150 a year, something like that for MLB.tv. It's not very much. They could easily up it to $200 a year and people would still pay it as long as they got rid of the blackouts, as long as they supplied the postseason as well. Because there's times that, I can't get to regular TV or I can't get to, I guess the playoffs are on TNT now, which is still a cable service. There's times that I can't necessarily get to those channels, but I've got MLB TV on my phone. And that's the direction I think Major League Baseball needs to go with it. I think that they need to lead these other sports because, and the NFL's done a little bit toward that with the Sunday Ticket, the way they've done that this last year with YouTube TV. But, really you got, X amount of NFL games versus, thousands of baseball games across all the teams in a given season. and you're talking about, the price of NFL Sunday Ticket is expensive. It is very expensive versus the Major League Baseball app not being that expensive. So baseball's got an advantage here, and they've got an opportunity to really step up and make some fans happy by taking over some of these RSNs, and ultimately the goal being to take over all the RSNs. And you could still lease out the commentary, I feel like you could still air the games on those RSNs as well. Just work out the contract where you can air it on MLB.TV. They still get their revenue, but it's not exclusive. And air their broadcasts on MLB.TV like you do now. Just it's another avenue. It's another place for people to consume the content that is Major League Baseball. And that's the struggle that baseball has had for a long, long time, is to be able to consume that content. Baseball fans, it's hard for you to watch your teams sometimes. And so I think that would make it easier. That's the hope that happens with this as well. But, as far as the Royals go, that situation is baffling, because for a long, long, long time, the last couple of years, it really looked like the Royals were going to be the team that ended up in Kansas. When all was said and done, they weren't going to get a deal for a downtown stadium. They weren't going to get a deal for NKC. They weren't going to get, what they wanted. And so it really felt like they were going to end up at the Legends area, which was fine. And it was just kind of assumed. But then the state of Kansas started putting deadlines on the Kansas City Royals, and they should have. They needed to, because the Royals were, pitter-pattering, moving slow about everything. And all of a sudden, the deadline came to December 31st, and nothing from the Royals. And an announcement was made right before that the Chiefs had, struck a deal with the state of Kansas, and they were moving across the river. So then the question was, okay, what's going to happen with the Royals, who have been the ones complaining the most? The Chiefs have expressed an interest in wanting a new stadium, especially one that's domed, or at least with a retractable roof. That's been something the Chiefs have expressed since, the 70s, the 80s. They've been wanting that. But the assumption was the Royals were going to move, and then the Chiefs were going to take over that footprint of Truman Sports Complex and do whatever they wanted with that whole area. And that made the most sense to everybody. And now it's flipped. And now the Royals have this opportunity where they can stay at Truman Sports Complex, and they could renovate the whole area, build a new stadium on the footprint of where Arrowhead Stadium now stands. They could do all those things. It would push it down farther down the road of what they want on a new stadium, but they could renovate the whole area, make it a baseball paradise over there at TSC. They still have the option of moving downtown as well, and North Kansas City. Now, the problem is the Royals don't want to go to another vote. They already got shut down once via vote by the voters of Jackson County. They said no to helping out with stadium funding. Now, there are ways to go about it where you don't get a vote as a taxpayer, where they can circumvent the vote. Now, in Clay County, they're going to have to vote, and that'd be the North Kansas City area. They're going to have to put that to a vote. But downtown, there is some opportunities because of land already owned by the state or by the city. There are some things that can be done to avoid a vote. And so it's going to be very interesting, because the Royals this week went back to the state of Kansas and said, hey, can we work something out? And Kansas said, no, we're done with you. We gave you the opportunity over and over and over again, and you decided not to make the most of it. The Chiefs have now. Now we've got to, work on paying for that. We're not going to do you too. You had the opportunity. You should have struck a deal, and you didn't. And that's, that's the way baseball is sometimes. We look at the situation in Oakland, a situation, with the A's period of not even being able to trademark their their name, the Athletics, in Vegas because it's too vague. Once upon a time, that wasn't a deal, but now that's a deal. So it's kind of funny to me. But either way, um, it just it's just one of those things that I think um, as I'm trying to figure out why that's still not working right. But anyway, um, but yeah, it's interesting to look at what might happen with the Kansas City Royals, and especially since they have a young ball club, an exciting ball club. They've got back-to-back seasons of having a winning record, which hasn't happened in a long time. It's only happened, I think, twice in my entire lifetime to have back-to-back winning seasons for the Royals. That's how bad they've been, with spots of brilliance in there. A couple of World Series, one in '85 right before I was born, and then of course 2015 as well, winning that World Series. But you had 14, 15, 16, I think, as years with a winning record. I'm not even sure they had a winning record in 16. They might have in 13. I'll have to go back and look. But I know in 14 and 15 they had a winning record and they won the World Series. They went to the World Series both those years. But outside of that, we had some 100-loss seasons. Even years that they started great, like 2003, they ended up with a losing record. So, it's kind of weird to look at this team and realize that there's an opportunity here to keep growing on the field and to have such a complex issue as this stadium issue, and then for the Royals to just drop the ball entirely. That's the frustrating thing, I think, for me, is the fact that they took it for granted. They thought, well, we're the Royals, we can do whatever we want. And the state of Kansas, good for them, because they stood tall and said, no, we gave you the opportunity, and you pissed it away. So, J.J. Piccolo, the GM of the Royals, said, we're in a position where we'll continue to make our team better. I don't know what shape or size or form that will come in or what position that will be, but there's going to be activity through the month of January and into February. We're just going to stay on top of it. If there's a way we can make our team better, we're going to try to capitalize. I like the moves the Royals have made so far. I think that's fantastic. I think that they are building toward a better team for this season. They had a lot of holes last year, and I think they made the outfield a little bit stronger. It's still not near as strong as what it should be, but they improved it a little bit. I think that they can add another bat in the outfield, and that would be huge. But pitching, that pitching staff is really good. Both the starters and the relievers. That's a currency that they have. That's a luxury that they have. And so being able to use that to get some bats, I think, is going to be huge. They've got to figure out what to do at certain positions that have been a pain for a long time. Second base being one of them. What's the upgrade that you need here for second base? And I think that would be a big one to get done here in January or February. That way you're going into spring training knowing what you have, knowing who you're going to battle with every single day. And there's a lot of people picking the Royals to finish second in the AL Central. And that's not a bad pick. A lot of us picked them to win it all last year. And of course, they fell plenty short of that. But this is a team that has that capability. You got the stars, Witt and Pasquantino. Jansen's going to be a stud. Salvi's, a mainstay with this ball club, even though he's getting up there in age. He's still producing. Reagans and Waka and those guys in the pitching staff. There's been some young guys that have stepped up. So this is a fun team. And outside of their stadium issues, I think that they've got the part on the field mostly figured out. It's just the stuff outside the field that they're struggling with currently. There was a thing thrown up there. I'll read you this. Nate Lewis threw out a few things that I think will be important to go over, talking about college sports. We'll talk about that coming up after the break. This is Riding the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory, right here on Dry River Radio. Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call on my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc. Increasing the lifespan of your well should be one of your top priorities. Calling Hydro Resources is the easy solution to do just that. Since the 1940s as Hinkle Drilling and 1999 as Hydro Resources, they have been providing groundwater service and solutions to ag producers, municipalities, and more. Whether it's well drilling and construction, pumping system design and installation, controls, pump services and maintenance, or well services and rehabilitation, Hydro Resources is the answer. Find out more information at hydroresources.com. With locations in Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas, they have a wide service area, so let them help you with your groundwater needs today. The Dodge City Toy Show returns January 24th, 2026 from 9 to 3 at the Silver Star Hall. Come see the collection of custom toys, cast iron, pedal toys, Hot Wheels, farm toys, trains, and more. From vintage to modern, you're sure to find something for everyone. You might even come across that toy from your childhood that brought you so much joy. Find out more information by searching for the Dodge City Toy Show on Facebook. January 24th, 2026, the Dodge City Toy Show returns from 9 to 3 at the Silver Star Hall, 800 West Front View in Dodge City. You may not know this yet, but your weekend breakfast spot is about to be the same place you take the family out of an evening. That's right, we're talking about Golden Corral, the same buffet that serves steak, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and everything else you love. Transforms on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings from 8 to 11 to the best breakfast buffet around. Omelet station, hash browns, breakfast casserole, waffles, cinnamon rolls, biscuits, and gravy. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Of course you can visit Golden Corral all week long, and you should. But if you really want to get your day going, you want to stop in for breakfast at Golden Corral, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, or go to goldencorral.com and order GC on the go anytime. Golden Corral, 1727 East Kansas Plaza in Garden City.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big, bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas, you deserve to hear a better day.
At Bank 7, they believe that if you help build a stronger community, you build a stronger bank. They're committed to acting with the highest level of integrity in everything they do and in every relationship with their customers. Whether you want a one-on-one relationship with your banker or 24/7 mobile banking access, Bank 7 in Montezuma or Copeland is there for you. For more info, visit bank7.com. Bank 7, their best investment is you. Member FDIC. Bank 7 is a proud supporter of the South Gray Rebels. If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
That's right, Benchwarmers. It is Ingles. Still riding the pine right here on Dry River Radio. I'm Joey Dean. Be with you until 1 o'clock. Still trying to figure out what the deal is with the stream going toward the radio portion of it. I'm not sure why it's not picking up my microphone the normal way. I had to try a back doorway to be able to do it. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but either way, we'll just mosey on with life, I guess. You can join the show. Text 620-222-0898. That's 222-0898, and you can text me whatever, and we can talk about it. I don't care. It's snowy out today. Is it snowy where you are? It is here in Ingles, and of course our game tonight, which is supposed to be in Montezuma, which is about 17 miles south of Ingles. That game has been postponed until tomorrow, so we will not be covering Stanton County at South Gray because I've got other obligations tomorrow. But yeah, you can still listen to some great music right here on Dry River Radio after I get done blabbering here on Riding the Pine. It's all brought to you by AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. That's where I go for all my firearms. Jeremy and the folks there at AAA Pawn and Armory do a great job. If you check out their Facebook, AAA Pawn Shop, sometimes they have raffles that they'll advertise on Facebook of firearms. So if you are in the market for a firearm, you don't necessarily want to pay full price, you could always give the raffle a try. And yeah, once again, that is AAA Pawn Shop on Facebook. So a few days ago, Nate Lewis threw out this idea to help stop the college sports madness. At Nate Lewis 77, by the way, he says a few things that need to happen in college sports to stop the madness. 1, we need a commissioner. Agreed. 2, contracts need to be 2 years with a buyout/payback clause in them. Okay. 3, change the portal to spring or summer. Yeah. 4, no more bowl opt-outs. You're getting paid to play, not sit out. If you sit out, you lose or have to pay back the money. All right. And that's just a few things that will definitely help. He says schools/donors can't just keep taking L's, and the bag chasing will die down a lot. What are some of your thoughts? I like this. I think there needs to be a central person, a commissioner-type person. They need to be better than what Major League Baseball has in the form of a commissioner, or the NHL. Gary Bettman has not been a historically great commissioner. But you could find somebody to be the commissioner. Contracts being 2 years with a buyout clause, yeah, I agree with that for the most part. There definitely needs to be restrictions on these because they're no longer NIL contracts, and I've talked about that a couple of different times. This is now a business of pay-to-play. It's been that, but now we're finally in the open about it. But it's no longer NIL. It's no longer name, image, likeness reimbursement. Not even close. You know, schools are ponying up millions of dollars to get kids to transfer. That's no longer NIL. And I don't care how you try to sugarcoat it, it's not. And it's ugly is what it is right now. They opened Pandora's box with no safeguards in place, no plan. The NCAA just did it. And it's become the madness that they supposedly were against for so many years. I mean, remember SMU getting the death penalty? Remember Michigan basketball getting in trouble? You remember all these things in years past because, you know, somebody bought dinner for a freaking college kid, and so they get dinged for it. The Reggie Bush deal. I mean, there's so many instances. And now we're just openly throwing $3.5 million at a 19-year-old kid to come quarterback a football team. It's no longer about school. It's no longer about education. It's no longer about name, image, likeness. This is a sports business. And without getting control of this, it's going to continue to run amok. And we're going to continue to see players bailing on schools, taking and chasing that bag somewhere else. It's an ugly, ugly business right now. It's ridiculous. There should be restrictions on these transfers. There should be restrictions on these deals, these quote unquote NIL deals. These contracts need to be just like NFL contracts, just like Major League contracts. They need to dot the I's and cross the T's on it. There needs to be stipulations in there. Do I think that a kid should have to pay back money if he gets hurt? No, I don't. But I think if he decides to bail on his team or opt out of a bowl game or what have you, then yeah, he should have to pay it back. Because that's the way this business works. All this is now is minor league football in the college football sort of things. In college basketball, that's a whole different thing. But there's still outrageousness going on over there as well. Everybody's paying their players now. In basketball, it's a little easier because there's only 5 starters, not 22. So they need to get control of it. There needs to be a commissioner. They need to separate out who's going to continue as a college football and make the rest of them minor league football with the colleges sponsoring it. It's still the Alabama football team, but they're part of a minor league football league. And then you can start separating out the quote-unquote Power 4 conferences from the Group of 5 and do things that way where the rich teams are still all grouped together and the rest of them can just continue and have a college football deal. I think the playoff has been very entertaining, by the way. Even with Tulane and James Madison making it in, I thought it was still entertaining. I'm glad that those schools got a shot. They deserve a shot. Otherwise, why in the hell are they in Division I? Why? Have them go to 1AA or whatever it's called now, FCS now. Have them go to that because they don't need to be grouped with the rest of them if they absolutely will not get a shot at having a national championship. I still think that those schools should have hosted those games, by the way, because they won their conferences. But that's a different bear for a different day. But I'm glad they got in. I think that this playoff has been entertaining. And even last night's game, I was pulling hard for Ole Miss because screw Lane Kiffin and what he did. And I'm so happy for Ole Miss that their players their stars are staying. They're not chasing Lane Kiffin. I think Goldings is doing a great job stepping in. And I think that Ole Miss is going to be all right. And they're going to be pretty good again next year. But, the SEC in this playoff beat 0 of the other Power 4 conferences. 0, including last night. The SEC will not have a representative in the national championship. They had one in the Final Four, and that was Ole Miss. The ACC, who everybody kind of crapped on, still has a team, and the Big Ten has 2. Think about that. How much the media has pushed the SEC and the greatness of the Power 4. It's not true. It's simply not true. Things are a lot more even in college football than people want to admit. And people point at, well, JMU and Tulane got blown out. Okay. A lot of teams get blown out in the first round. Look at the history of the college football playoff. Even when it was just 4 teams, we had blowouts. So enough with that crap. And look at the actual history, the actual stats. Look at the attendance of these schools. And look at this whole mess that the quote-unquote NIL has created. There needs to be restrictions. There needs to be things done to fix this. Speaking of Lane Kiffin and taking the LSU job, I thought this was pretty funny. Um, Lane Kiffin, this was posted. I don't know who posted this. I shared it, but I'm not sure who originally posted it. But he says, let me get this straight. Lane Kiffin takes job at LSU, stating that recruiting to LSU, the stadium, etc., has a better chance to win a national title than at Ole Miss. He brings his entire offensive coaching staff, including stud offensive coordinator Weiss Jr., who thinks they can land Chambliss if he gets a waiver. He fires the King of Louisiana, Frank Wilson, LSU's best recruiter, hires his running back coach Kevin Smith because he thinks he'll bring Lacey, the running back from Ole Miss. Ole Miss hires Frank Wilson. Lane tries to lure away Lacey, Chambliss, Carnero, Eccles, and others. Ole Miss now has commitments from Lacey and Chambliss to stay. Not a single Ole Miss starter has hit the portal, and only one non-starter is transferring to LSU. Meanwhile, Ole Miss and Portal Pete, have signed or projected to sign Southern Miss star linebacker Chris Jones, Colorado linebacker Jaheim Otis, Florida defensive tackle Makai Burrow, Florida defensive back Sharif Denson, Baylor linebacker Keaton Thomas, defensive end Jonathan Maldonado, and Auburn stud cornerback Jay Crawford. He's rumored to have Deuce Knight on the way, rumored to have a top inside or outside linebacker from LSU, Carius Kern, as well. So Ole Miss currently ranks third in the portal rankings, LSU 56. And Ole Miss played in the national semifinals last night and nearly came away with a victory. Yes, that was pass interference at the end of the game. Yes, Miami got away with 3 holds that I counted on their final couple of drives. They also got away with a false start. All of which would have changed the outlook of games. So Miami got the calls late, and Ole Miss still nearly came and beat them in regulation. So Ole Miss, I told you, they're going to be good next year. They're going to be good the next couple of years. I think they've got a good thing going there, and I would love nothing more than to watch Lane Kiffin just fall flat on his face, because that whole situation with Kiffin just bailing on Ole Miss in the middle of the playoff, or actually right before the playoffs started, is just absolutely ridiculous. Staying in conference to go to LSU because money. That's all it is. Like, millions of dollars he's already making aren't enough anyway. Ole Miss helped nurse his image back to health. He didn't have the greatest of images, greatest reputations before Ole Miss. And they helped nurse it back to health, and then he treats him dirty like that. That's just ridiculous. So I hope I have friends that are LSU fans, and I'm sorry, but I hope LSU just struggles mightily the next couple of years, and Lane Kiffin gets canned for it, because it's just an absolutely horrible thing that he decided to do. But once again, you got to have these restrictions in place. I know that there's buyouts for coaches and things like that, but things have to be set. We shouldn't have coaches leaving in the middle of the playoff. First off, the playoff goes too long anyway. We need to move it back a couple of weeks, where the national championships played New Year's Day would be great. That'd be ideal. I associate the end of the college football season with New Year's Day anyway, from growing up and watching the Rose Bowl. So New Year's Day would be perfect to just do it then. I still think the other bowls have significance. But I don't think, 5 and 6 teams or 5 and 7 teams need to be making it. I don't think 6 and 6 teams need to be making it. I think you need to have a winning record to make a bowl game. I don't think there needs to be 700 bowl games. Have a winning record for the bowl game. Make the coaching carousel and the portal, push that after the season. You have to stay with your school, whether you're a player or a coach, through the end of the year. And then, you can bail out. I think that, if a school is going to fire a coach, then that's a little bit different, and that they're going to pay some real money to do that. There should be more penalties than what there probably already is to fire your coach mid-season. But there's no reason that we can't have a couple of weeks of a coaching carousel and then open the portal at that point. There's no reason at all. By the end of January, you've got things sorted out with the coaching and the portal. 2 weeks with the coaching carousel, then open the portal, have it last through February. I don't care, but do it then to where kids aren't opting out of bowl games, aren't transferring from schools or announcing their transfer or their intention to transfer or whatever. Get through the season at least and make that postseason. There's no reason to have 24 days off. None. You can start the playoffs right after. FCS is able to do it. If everybody else can do a postseason, so can the NCAA. I mean, the NFL's postseason, look at it. Crazy. Didn't even need a committee to figure out who was going to play in the NFL postseason. It just all worked itself out. That's weird. You're telling me you can't do that in college football? Come on, give me a break. ESPN doesn't want that to happen because right now they are making buku bucks and then driving the whole committee thing, the online debate. People blow up their Facebook and their chat comment boards and message boards on ESPN.com and cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching every time somebody comments. That's why people post dumb things online that why are you doing this? It's there to piss you off so that you'll comment so that they make more money. That's it. That's how this works. Welcome to social media. Heck, KWCH TV on their Facebook this morning. All the Facebook post said was Southwest Kansas District cancels school due to weather. Okay, which one? You had to click on the post, go to the comments, then click on their posts about their website, which was in the first comments. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's how that works. So, that's the world we live in now. It's disgusting. There needs to be some rules in place with this NIL. Otherwise, it's going to continue to be out of hand. We'll take one more break, come back with the picks as we wrap up the show. This is Riding the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory, right here on Dry River Radio.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Just got a text message from Ingalls Schools due to the weather. The games against Kiowa County tonight are postponed until January the 19th. So no games in Gray County this evening. I'm not sure where Cimarron was, but I can't imagine anybody really in Southwest Kansas continuing on with their games with the way this snow has fallen. Big flakes too, and it's coming down pretty quick. So no game in Montezuma tonight, no game in Ingalls either, and all the activities associated with those things. As everybody just needs to stay in, stay safe, stay warm. Cuddle with your youngins. That's what I'm going to do. After I'm done with the show. It's weird. I've got a handful of things to do, and then I've got nothing the rest of the evening. It was all blocked out to do a game. So I think I'm going to make a frozen pizza maybe. Kick back. I don't know. Maybe some Chef Boyardee. I don't know what I got in there. I didn't set anything out to make dinner because I was planning on eating at the school, eating a hot dog or something. So I do have hot dogs, so I guess I could stay on that path. But, yeah, I didn't set out any meat or anything. I set up stuff for breakfast tomorrow, so maybe I'll make breakfast for dinner and then just eat leftovers in the morning. I don't know. But either way, I got an evening of no plans, so I'm going to hang out with the kid. Didn't get to hang out with him last weekend because I was in Houston, so make up for some lost time with the boy and hang out with him. And then I guess the wife can come hang out too after she gets off work, I guess. I don't know. I suppose. Either way, thank you to everybody who's kept us updated. For those of you who don't realize it, we have a winter storm warning and a winter weather advisory in effect until late tonight, and that is for all of southwest Kansas. The roads are already getting covered. We will keep you up to date as much as we can on our Facebook page. Dry River Radio is what you search for on Facebook, and we'll keep sharing stuff from the Kansas Department of Transportation as well as the National Weather Service throughout the day as we try to keep you up to date, abreast of the situation, as they say. So we'll do that over the next few hours into the evening, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny in the mid-40s. So all this will melt really quick. But we finally got a little taste of winter this year, which is nice. We haven't been partaking in that recently. Looking at the scoreboard, looking at our picks as we go to the NFL playoffs. What a way to kick off the playoffs. You have the Rams and the Panthers. I'm just as surprised as everybody else that the Panthers are in it. 8-9 is their record, and they get in via all sorts of wild tiebreakers. But nobody's saying the Panthers don't belong. Nobody's saying, the Lions, the Vikings could have been teams, but no. Panthers are in, and nobody really complaining that much. Is this going to be a blowout? Probably. The Rams are really, really good. But hey, you win your division, you get in. That's how that works. This will be in Charlotte. Also, you win your division, you get to host. That's how that works. Remember a few years ago? I don't know. It was probably 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago. It seems like it was the Seahawks that got in with an 8-9, or it was a 7-8 record. 7-9 record. That's what it was. 7-9, I think. And they hosted like the Packers or somebody and beat them. I remember that first round of the playoffs. But Panthers and Rams, I'm going to take the Rams. Matthew Stafford having an outstanding season, almost 5,000 yards passing, 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Yeah, that's my guy right there. Big Matthew Stafford fan. Give me Stafford and the Rams. 3:30 on Fox. 7 o'clock on Prime Video tomorrow. The Packers at 9-7-1 at the 11-6 Bears, who have surprised everybody. That one from Soldier Field in Chicago. I'm going to take the Bears. My boy Bill Bernardoni would love the fact that I'm taking the Bears. That's just insane to me that the Bears are the ones that I just can't explain any of this. Sunday, January the 11th, Bills at 12-5 at the 13-4 Jaguars. That is on CBS from Jacksonville. I'm going to take the Bills. I think they're going to get by the Jags. I really feel like this has to be the year for Josh Allen and the Bills. You don't have Lamar Jackson. You don't have Patrick Mahomes. You don't have Joe Burrow. These guys not in the playoffs. You have Aaron Rodgers, who's old and decrepit, and a bunch of younger guys. Justin Herbert, I guess, would be the other guy that's been in that conversation with the Burrows and the Allens. But this is the year. No excuses. The Bills have to take advantage of this season because the Ravens and the Chiefs aren't going to be down for long. So I'm going to take the Bills in this one. It's going to be tough sledding for them, but I think they're going to beat the Jags. 3:30 on Fox on Sunday. The 49ers at 12-5 at the 11-6 Eagles. I really like this 49ers team. They've played outstanding here of late. The Eagles have just kind of this year. I don't think this is their year. Even from Philly, I think the 49ers get the victory in this one. Christian McCaffrey, he's stayed healthy all year. He's going to continue. Brock Purdy at quarterback. Yeah, give me the Niners. 7 o'clock on NBC and Peacock on Sunday. The 11-6 Chargers at the 14-3 Patriots. Drake May and company getting in. Drake May's had a great year. 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,300 yards passing. Justin Herbert's had a pretty good year, too. They have overcome so many injuries with the Chargers. I still can't believe they made the playoffs. I'm not going to count them out now. Give me the Chargers on the road over the Patriots. That is 3 straight road victories on Sunday, by the way, that I have after splitting the difference with the 2 games on Saturday. And then Monday, 7:15 on ESPN and ABC, some Monday Night Football. Texans at 12-5 at the 10-7 Steelers. Aaron Rodgers could be the last hurrah for him. Feels like he needs to solidify his legacy a little bit more. I mean, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer, but the fact of the matter is he's struggled the last few years. He's got the Steelers in the playoffs. Give me the win over the Texans. I don't have a lot of faith in the Texans. Their defense is outstanding. It really is. But other than that, I don't have a ton of faith in the offense for the Texans. Give me the Steelers in a close one. It's probably going to be cold and crappy in Pittsburgh, so I'll take the Steelers for that. College basketball for our area schools, as I got to get this set right here. There we go. For the Big 12, Saturday, 11 o'clock on Fox, 11-4 Kansas, and ranked number 22 at 10-5 West Virginia. Give me the Jayhawks on the road. I think they've finally figured stuff out a little bit in that wild win over the week, and so give me the Jayhawks over West Virginia. Kansas State 9-6 at 9-6 Arizona State, 2 o'clock on Peacock and NBC Sports Network. Give me the Wildcats in that one as well. Oklahoma State at 13-2 at number 3 Iowa State, who's 15-0. I like the way the Pokes have been playing this year, but it's tough to go into Hilton and get a win. Give me Iowa State in that one. And finally, Wichita State, they play on Sunday against North Texas. It has been a frustrating last few games for the Shockers. They'll be at home against North Texas, who comes in at 10-6, Wichita State 9-7. The Shockers have to win this one. They've been capable of winning a number of games that they have lost this season. They should probably have 12 wins, if not more. And so I think that they have to get this win against North Texas. So give me the give me the Shockers. Don't tell Wichita State fans I just said that. Give me the Shockers over the Mean Green on Sunday. That'll do it for today's show. By the way, one more thing to make a pick on. That is tonight's game in the college football playoffs. That is Indiana and Oregon. That is at 6:30 tonight. I guess I can watch that. Indiana favored by 3.5. Yeah, I'm going to take Indiana in that one as well. So that'll do it for today's show. Big thank you to all of you who have tuned in and listened. Please stick around for your favorite music right here on Dry River Radio. Stay warm and follow us on Facebook, Dry River Radio, to get updates on the weather throughout the day. Have a great night, everyone. This has been Riding the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory right here on Dry River Radio.